Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's well. I know we've had a lot of severe weather going around. And just wanted to come to you this morning. There is a message that God has given me that He wanted me to share with everyone. Very profound message. Um, and it led me to, I found it ironic that he had me to preach recently on the 10 virgins in Matthew 25, five wise virgins and five foolish virgins. And so what God showed me in this vision was that there is a separation coming. And it was upsetting. I've seen these types of night visions before, but I don't know, it just seems so real. And of course, God allows me to play inside people during these dreams. And so it started out where the part of the population received invitations. And I was playing one of them. I was one of them, my wife, my granddaughter. We all received invitations. And you had to go to this place and you had to register, and then you would leave. And so when the time came for us to go, I told my wife and my granddaughter, I said, hey, you guys go on up ahead, and I'm going to return to the house. I got some things that I need to get. And so they went on. And as I went home, I stopped, and somehow when I came out, I could not find my car. And so I spent all this time, I wasted all this time looking for my car, never could find it. It was moved, I never could find it. And I just wasted all this time, basically because of material things. And so I realized that the time was getting away from me, and that I was going to miss the window for registration. And so because I could not find my car, I was unable to get back in time. And so while this was going on, there was all these people just driving around crazy. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion. People who did not receive an invitation were upset. They were trying to go to the registration place anyway to register, and they were being turned around. And so there was a lot of upset people at this time. So I ended up hitching a ride with this group of men, and they dropped me off at the registration place. And when I got there, there were all these charter buses lined up as far as you could see. There was all these white charter buses lined up. And at this time, I knew that I had missed my window and that I was unable to register to leave. So I saw my granddaughter on one of the buses, and I waved goodbye to her. And she shouted to me, your wife is on the other bus. And so I found her and hugged her and said goodbye. And so the buses all pulled out and left. And on these buses were all the good people in the world. Okay. I just knew this. It was just instilled in me that on these buses were all the Christians, all the Christian people, all the Christian people that God had chosen because they had received the grace of God and they had lived the life of God. They were all on these buses. And so these buses pulled out one by one and left. And as soon as the last bus left, it turned dark. It went nighttime. And I thought to myself, I've got to get out of here. But I have no car, I have no ride. How am I going to get out of here? So I saw this guy who was like a employee at the place where the registration occurred. And I asked him, I said, hey, can you give me a ride home? And he laughed and he said, are you serious? He said, look at all these expensive cars that were left by these people. He said, I just got through joyriding in one. He said, choose any car you want. They were left behind. He said, you can drive any fancy car you want now. They were all left here. And so I remember jumping in this fancy luxury sports car and I started driving it through town. And I remember I started seeing all these wild and crazy people just driving mad all over the place. And I remember that something as easy as going through a traffic light became a challenge because nobody was stopping for red lights. Nobody was honoring any law now. They were ravaging stores. They were taking what they wanted from stores and they were running lights. They were just going crazy. And I remember pulling up to this green light and having to slam on brakes because they were running the lights. And I remember seeing this black truck coming through, a black 4-wheel truck that had either skeletons or skulls or something of that nature on it. And I felt that he represented the Antichrist that is coming. And so when I saw him and I got ready to go through the light and I saw him, that's when the dream ended. And it disturbed me so bad. After I got up, I began to pace the house. And it even put fear in me to the fact that I went and got on my knees and I began to pray. And I said, God, is everything okay between you and I? I said, if not, if I've offended anyone, if I have done anything that is not to your liking, please forgive me because I do not want to be caught up in the way that these people were left behind in this dream that God gave me. And as I got to the ending of my prayer to God, I heard a voice, and this voice from the Holy Spirit said, warn the people. And that's all he said. He did not say anything else. He just said, warn the people. I heard it just as clear as day. Warn the people. There is a great separation that is coming. And it's coming soon. This dream was so profound. I've done many dreams. But it was so profound. It was so real, like I was there. It still feels like I was there. Jesus is getting ready to return. And there's going to be people whose name was on the roll, like I was in this dream. Their name is on the roll, but they're going to miss. In other words, there are going to be people that you know without a doubt that's going to go to heaven. You just know it. They're the prototype church person that you think a Christian should be. And they're going to get left behind because they don't know Jesus. He's the only way. He's coming. Time is almost out. Look around you. You've heard me preach about the weather that God has shown me. It's happening right now. You've heard me preach about the wars that God has told me about that are going on right now and getting ready to start. World War III is getting ready to start. And you've heard me talk about the economy is going to collapse. And you heard me talk about the prices that are going to be on food that's getting ready to happen right now. In Matthew chapter 25, verse 32, it says this, "And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. He shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world." God bless you and God keep you until we meet again.